It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I had the privilege to interview the Alaska Argonaut's assistant alpine skiing coach, Coach Anna Berecz. How are you doing today?
Hi, Brandon. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get started in coaching in college?
How I started. I was I was racing back in Europe, and I was looking for a way to, continue my ski career, and so I reached out to a lot of coaches here in the U.S. because the U.S. is pretty, unique in that sense that they really support collegiate skiing and sports. And so my current, um, you know, head coach, my boss, was the coach there at the time, and he recruited me to come to Alaska.
What was that like, obviously, getting to compete for Alaska in alpine skiing?
Um, well, it's Alaska is, it has so many mountains. It's famous of its, snow and the big mountains, but alpine skiing itself is, I don't think that there are that many people who do this sport specifically. So there's a lot of um, kids who ski, but less people to do alpine skiing, and especially competitive. So it's a really small group, and it's really interesting to do a sport that not that many people do. Um, I like, we're not famous here. I got a lot of questions. Oh, I didn't even know that we have an alpine team on this college, UAA. But yeah, we're just the few people here, in all of Alaska who are keeping the sport alive and well.
Of course, what was that like, obviously, getting to put on the UAA ski jersey?
So we have a race suit. It's like a onesie that zips up in the front, and it has the school colors green and gold, or yellow, I should say. And it's a really cool feeling. I have, before I came here, I was always representing Hungary, and had the national team suit and jacket on. And so this was a change. Like it felt a little bit more like a team because we are a ski team. So having that uniform and having everyone wear that uniform made us, I think, it there was like a sense of belonging to a team. It's a cool feeling.
Of course, before joining the UAA team, what was that like, obviously, as you talked about just a minute ago, competing for Hungary?
Um, well, Hungary is another um, small has a small ski community, just like here in Alaska. But Hungary itself doesn't have many mountains, so um, I was always we're a little bit more exotic, I should say, in the ski community. But being from Hungary, you get a lot of what how did you start skiing, and then I explained that it's actually just like a short, maybe 3-hour drive to the nearest mountain on the Austria side, or you can go to other countries to ski, and it's not that difficult, but it does require a lot of time in cars, and a lot of sacrifice from parents and the athletes itself to get to a higher level of ski racing.
While in college, what were some of your biggest accomplishments as an athlete?
Um, I well, let's see. I had a couple of top 10 um, in collegiate races, top 10 placings. I qualified for nationals, which is only, three of each team, like women and three men can go to nationals. So that was really a big honor to represent UAA and be one of them, one of those three. And while I was also in college, I could also participate in world championships and the Olympic Games. So that was cool to be a college level athlete, representing my country and a little bit my school too at the world event.
Of course, what was that like competing in the NCAA qualifiers championships?
Um, it's for us, it's a very short season. So I would say it's kind of high pressure to qualify. You don't get a lot of chances um, throughout like the regular season. And then when, the nationals, NCAA nationals are the biggest deal. And it's a really fun experience. To be there and see like all the other teams as well. There are a lot of teams who compete. They're just not as big teams as, for instance, UAA or the rest of the big schools.
Of course, how was that experience like getting to go to the Olympics and go to Sochi in 2014?
2014, so that was my second Olympic Games, and I was I how was it like? What was it like? It was I was taken aback how beautiful Sochi, the mountains around the ski resort were, and how that it was a really cool place. I didn't see or I didn't think that they would be that big, and they had a lot of snow. And I mean, it's always and spectacular, and just being there and seeing that everything is, people are actually paying attention, and they cheer for you when they see athletes like the um they're like, oh, that's an athlete, like there's someone famous, and you feel all the attention. It's really cool to be in a place where you know you've kind of accomplished something, and you earned your spot to
Of course,
participate.
after your collegiate career and after going to two Olympics, what was it like getting into college coaching?
um it was a change. I decided to not continue my competitive career. When I graduated, there are people who go back and to their home countries, or just continue the racing. I decided not to do that, just because I felt that I have accomplished a lot, and I wanted to kind of get on with my life from that. It requires a lot of energy, and also, of course, time and money. And I was excited to just stay in ski racing, because this is what I've been doing since I was 6, and kind of give back. I learned a lot as a ski racer, and it's very rewarding to help other people get to how should I say it, just get to their full potential.
How was your experience like getting to join the coaching staff of your alma mater of UAA and get to coach on the alpine skiing side?
Um, it's I think there it's not that sometimes coaches like jump around. Not everyone, sometimes you don't have a coaching position open, so you can coach where you have raced, but it's really I don't know, I like to be one of the few staff members who have competed for this school. I think I know our system, and um, I don't know, maybe it's a loyalty thing too. I was a Seawolf, and now I coach Seawolf. So that's a I think it's a cool um, way of giving back.
Of course, being a young coach, how have you been able to balance, obviously, still coaching at your alma mater and having some of those teammates that you raced with also coach now with coach them?
Mhm. Um, I I think I was already a couple years older than my fellow or my teammates at that time, and it wasn't that drastic of a change. We we sometimes, like, we would talk, like when I was on the team, we would talk about ski racing, and we would watch videos together too, and I remember my teammates were trying to help me, figuring things out, and I would help them, so we would give each other already feedback, and it wasn't like a big jump for me to help them, and me to facilitate their skiing, um, and then also for them to listen to my opinion, or like get my feedback. So it was really easy, and they all of my teammates who became my athletes were very respectful, and I never had any issues with that.
As a new college coach, what are some of the things that you've learned so far as coaching at your alma mater?
What have I learned? Um, I mean, apart from, being able to like stand, like not be in the action, but on the outside, um, I think just how to manage athletes, how to break down techniques and movements, and or try to say things differently in like different language to get um, to a certain athlete. There's so many ways that you can describe what they're working on, and that was I, as an athlete, I had one way of thinking about things, and now there's just all these 12, 13 people who are looking for feedback, but I have to always think about them, and how to communicate certain things. I think communication was a pretty big thing that I had to learn to do that efficiently and effectively.
What does a typical game day, race day look like for you as a coach?
Um, I We're always the first ones on the hill, and usually the last ones to come get off. We're trying to set up, like, get the athletes to the hill. A lot of times, this is, it's dark still out there when we cars, load our skis into the truck and all the athletes, and then we drive to a hill where the races are going to happen, and then there's a lot of hurry up and wait. So we rush to the hill, then we rush up to inspect the course, then there's that anticipation and kind of like nervous, but like excitement, and then the runs, like the first run goes, like it happens, and then there's a lot of waiting, and then but in the meantime, you always find something to do. So um anytime, like sometimes we spend 8 hours on the hill, just for four runs, like 2 runs for the women, 2 runs for the men. And all of a sudden the whole day is gone.
Of course, how is that like, obviously, as you talked about just a minute ago, having a competition all day long versus, let's say, only a few hours?
Um, well, you get a lot, your legs get really tired, and sometimes, standing around, I can definitely feel it in my back and sometimes on in my knees. Um, it's but it's just something that I've been doing for so long. It's normal. The exception is when we're only there for a couple hours. We had some races back in December where um, we woke up really early and loaded the chair at like 7, but we were done by 11:30, and then we had the whole day off. Well, off, you have still to go to meetings and do things, but it was very pleasant to have a little bit of time off. Usually we are there from first chair till last chair.
Of course, during those spring months and summer months, what are some of the things as a coach that you're doing to prepare your athletes when you're not in season racing?
Mhm. Um, so we are so our championship is in the spring. That's in March, and then we have about another month until we have to stop training, and we fill that month with more training, even though the next championship is not for another year, because there's always snow. So we like to use the time and the conditions until we can't, because all the snow is gone. And then really, as a ski racer, you don't get a lot of time off. Maybe it's like 2 weeks where most of my athletes are doing finals, and then there's a summer where we're actually not training with them, so they get a training program, and they try to get on snow during the summer on the glaciers, and yeah, just not so that's our prep period. So they spend a lot of time strength and conditioning training.
Have you been able to take over your time as a professional athlete and Olympian over to your college coaching lifestyle?
um well, my time, it's I think it hasn't, if I'm understanding this question correctly, uh it was like a smooth transition from uh, from competitive ski racing into coaching. It's really just um, you're doing the exact same thing, except you're not doing it, like you're not doing the skiing. So, but you're still spending a lot of time thinking about skiing and watching videos and all that.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you've started to help build and create as an assistant coach?
Um, yes, well, we are. I think my coaching philosophy is to do your best in everything that you do. Like if it's every turn and every run counts, and I like to you know say that and show that to my athletes too. I think I always try to do my best as a coach, and I try to do my best as a student. And since they are student athletes, they just have to be um, really like serious, but also have enjoy the process. But just knowing that your time as a student athlete is limited. It's only 4 years. Just make the best out of it every day. When you go to school, just try your best, put your best foot forward, and then you'll be happy with the end result.
How's it been like, obviously, being the alpine skiing coach and getting to coach on the alpine skiing side?
Um, I think it's pretty fun. We My athletes, I think they really love skiing and they love the sport and they love doing it. So and they're really motivated. So it's actually a and age wise, they're adults. So I think it's one of the coolest age group to coach because they're just so into it and they want to be here and then they want to do well and it's very rewarding to help them become like cool adults and awesome skiers and good teammates.
What does the recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes looking to get into skiing and in particular alpine skiing?
Yeah, well, we recruit from all over the world, first of all. And there is like for skiing, we have every athlete who's 15 or older has a ranking in the world. So we just look at those rankings and see if we can reach out somehow to the athletes who we think would like who are the right age and have the a good ranking and who we think would be competitive. And then sometimes they reach out to us. I think that NCAA skiing has become more, like widely known everywhere, not just in the US and Canada. So we get a lot of foreigners who are interested in coming. And and then once we make contact, it's just a matter of, you know, figuring out how many, if they're eligible. There are a lot of rules there, and how many years they could compete, and whether they want to be, part of our team if they're a good fit. I think that's really, important um, to get to know the coaches and the team. So we really encourage everyone to come and visit the campus and talk to our athletes because that really gives them a good idea if they want to be here for 4 years and are they going to enjoy that time and they want to work with us.
Of course, as a coach, what is it like obviously seeing those players come on to the official visit and fall in love with the campus that you fell in love with as an athlete?
Um, this is actually so not because we're in Alaska, you have to take a plane most often, and so we get a few visitors like on official visits, and I have to say there's a really high chance for success here because actually, like Anchorage is as beautiful. We're surrounded by beautiful mountains, and the resort has a wonderful view. And then we have this where I am. This is my office. This building is like super new. I think it's just what like it was built in the last 10 years. So we have a great facility, and it's a pretty easy sell once you're here. But people also have a lot of preconception about Alaska, and they think that it's always dark here and always cold, which it is not. Right now, I think it's about freezing, maybe, but yeah, we get some when people come up here on official visit, they always really like the team and the facilities and we had um, we had some very top athletes come up here because they took the plane ride and came up here and saw for themselves.
As a college coach and alumni of the school, what is it like obviously seeing them put on that ski uniform and represent the Alaska Argonauts just like how you have?
Um, it's a I don't know if I can talk for them, but I'm actually I can tell you that we put a lot of effort into our uniform, or I do at least. I want the athletes to be comfortable, and also to like their gear, and so to be proud of it. And so we having that uniform is, I think they all they feel like they belong to the team. And I want to dress them so that they always have some kind of Seawolf gear, so that they know that people know that they're on the team, and that they know that they belong on the team.
What are some of your future plans in moving forward in the program?
Well, our plan or goal is to win national championship title. We have last year we were fifth, and the year before we were fourth. And this year we have a pretty strong team, so that would be really cool. We are the I maybe like a dark horse, or considered that, but we definitely have a lot of talent on the team. So doing well at nationals here in 2 months is our short-term goal, and then of course build a successful program for the future, and just continue attracting talent is our goal.
What advice would you give those high school athletes that are prospective junior athletes looking to come to college to compete in alpine skiing?
Mm-hmm. Do well in school. That's always and it always helps to get good grades, and keep up with your homework, and then your other stuff like assignments, or if you have just stay organized. I think that's getting good at time management is a prerequisite for college. There's when you're a student athlete, you don't get a lot of time. You only have 24 hours, but you have to be a student and an athlete, and also probably get some sleep. So staying focused on things, and learning how to prioritize is a really big component of being a successful college athlete.
What advice would you give those college athletes that are looking to go represent a national team and one day make the Olympics like you did?
Put everything into it, and um, you're only first of all, appreciate the fact that you're doing a sport that you love, and every day is not going to be great, and you're not always going to break your own personal best records and all of that, but it's hard work, but it's really rewarding at the end when you're standing at at the podium, or if you reach your full potential. And just really appreciate everyone else's work. There's a lot that goes into getting people to to compete at a high level, and I think that being grateful for all the help and support that people get is, and staying humble is something every athlete should be.
What advice would you give those college coaches that are looking to get started in coaching in college for alpine skiing?
Hmm. Um, I don't know if I have any advice per se, but I can only say that I really like coaching at this level. It's sometimes with college, skiing leads to competing in the World Cup, World Championships, and all of that, and then sometimes it is you're building or you're raising some like productive members of society, even if they, you know, don't end up in Olympic Games. So I think that if someone is thinking about coaching at this level, I hope that they know that it's really rewarding to be able to help people, you know, to a college education, while also, you know, keeping them in the sport, which is, you know, just like a lifelong gift. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it if you find a spot and get a chance to coach at the collegiate level.
What advice would you give people such as yourself that are looking to coach at their alma mater to give back to the program that gave back to them?
They are maybe we'll have a more like deeper connection to the team. I think that's what I am noticing. But you know, even if you are gonna coach for a different team, you can be just as, you know, loyal. I think it's all like for ski racing, it's all one big community, and it's, you know, it's just cool to be part of someone's life in this age, you know, from 19 through 23, 24, where they're like becoming adults. And yeah, so either way, whichever team you're coaching for, it's going to be a cool experience.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with the Alaska Argonaut Alpine Skiing Program at?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with the program at?
We're on Facebook. It's the Alaska Anchorage Ski Team, or University of Alaska Anchorage Ski Team, and we also have Instagram. That's UA_ski wolves. So almost sea wolves, but it's ski wolves. I have an Instagram, but I don't use it all that much. I actually manage the team's Instagram, and it's way more fun to do that than posting pictures about myself. But yeah, I think that's about it. Like we're pretty active on Instagram during the season, and would like to post a lot of videos and photos about, you know, what we do when we're not, you know, competing, and what we do when we're competing.
Thank you again, Coach Anna Berecz, for your interview, and best of luck in your future with the Alaska Argonauts as the assistant alpine skiing coach.
Thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Anna, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.